Let me ask you something that might feel uncomfortably familiar. How many opportunities have you lost, not because you weren't capable, not because you didn't want them, but because your mind held you hostage, pulling you into endless loops of what if, should I, maybe later, until the moment passed, and all that was left was regret? How many nights have you laid awake, staring at the ceiling in the dark, your body exhausted but your mind racing, replaying old conversations, imagining disasters, or trying to make decisions that never seem to come? Your thoughts feel like a storm, your heart feels heavy, and even though nothing is happening on the outside, you feel overwhelmed on the inside. If this is you, you're not failing. You're simply caught in the same trap that millions of minds fall into every day. But here's the part almost nobody realizes. Centuries before the modern age, samurai and Zen monks faced the same inner storms, and they developed techniques so powerful that neuroscience is only now beginning to understand why they work. Tonight, you will learn those techniques, not as history, but as tools to quiet your mind, make clearer decisions, break the cycle of overthinking, and finally sleep with peace again. This story begins not with a legendary warrior, but with a young woman named Aiko. Aiko lived in a small fishing village near the edge of a forest. From the outside, she looked disciplined, capable, even admirable, but inside, she fought a battle no one could see. Her mind would not stop. Every decision, even the simplest ones, felt like walking through fog. She replayed every conversation for days. Her nights were spent drowning in what-if scenarios, and every time an opportunity appeared, a chance to travel, to learn, to speak, to grow, her mind analyzed it until it died. She wasn't weak, she wasn't lazy, she simply didn't know how to escape the storm inside her mind. One sleepless night, unable to take the noise any longer, she walked into the forest, hoping the silence might calm her. Instead, she found something else, a flickering lantern, and beside it, an old warrior, sitting completely still, breathing as calmly as if the entire world were at peace. Aiko hesitated, but the warrior opened his eyes and said, "You carry too many swords in your mind. Put them down and sit." She sat. "What troubles you?" he asked gently. "My thoughts," Aiko whispered. "They pull me everywhere. They keep me awake. They stop me from choosing anything. I feel trapped inside my own mind." The warrior nodded slowly, as though he had heard these words many times before. "Your mind is not your enemy," he said. "It is simply untrained. A wild horse, a river without banks, a sword with no sheath." Then he handed her a bowl of water. "Hold this without spilling." Aiko tried, but the water trembled with every tiny movement, every breath, every rising thought. "I can't," she said. The warrior smiled. "That bowl is your life, and those ripples are your thoughts. When the mind wavers, so does everything else. Decisions, sleep, peace, confidence, clarity. To master your life, you must first master your mind." "But how?" she asked. The warrior stood, walked to a clearing, and pointed to a tall cedar tree, rising straight toward the sky. "Look at this tree," he said. "The wind shakes its leaves, but the trunk does not move. Your mind can be the same." Then he taught her the first ancient technique, one that modern psychology calls attentional grounding, and Zen calls returning to the present. He said, "When your thoughts rush in 10 directions, return to one point, your breath, your steps, your hands, the sound of the moment. Anchor the mind, and the storm will pass." Aiko closed her eyes and did what he said, breathing as though each breath was a complete action. The storm did not disappear instantly, but for the first time, it slowed. The second lesson came in silence. The warrior placed a single stone in her hand. "This stone is every decision you have not made," he said. "Feel its weight. That is why you are tired." "Why can't I choose?" she asked. "Because you are trying to choose the future," he replied. "A future that does not yet exist. A warrior chooses the next step, not the entire path." This was not philosophy. It was neuroscience. Overthinking happens because the mind tries to predict countless outcomes at once. This paralyzes the brain's decision-making center. But when you focus only on the next step, the brain relaxes, clarity appears, and decisive action becomes possible. The warrior then taught her a ritual used by samurai before battle. Ask yourself only 2 questions. What can I control right now? What is the next small action? Nothing more. Aiko felt something shift. Her decisions suddenly felt lighter. Not easy, but clear. The next lesson took place by a small river. The warrior handed her a leaf. "Drop this into the water," he said. She did, and the leaf floated gently away. "Your thoughts are the leaf," he said. "You do not have to follow them downstream. Let them go. They will pass without your help." This was the technique monks used to stop intrusive thoughts, and the same method cognitive therapists teach today. Aiko practiced watching her thoughts appear, acknowledging them and letting them drift away. No judgment, no fighting, just release. And slowly, the nighttime storms inside her began to soften. The final lesson came as morning light touched the trees. The warrior said, "You think your mind must be empty to find peace, but peace comes not from emptiness, but from attention. When you give your full presence to one moment, your mind becomes spacious on its own." He placed his hand on her shoulder. "You are not broken. You are simply scattered. Bring your mind back home." Iko returned to her village with new eyes. Her decisions became quicker because she no longer tried to predict the entire future. Her sleep became deeper because she let thoughts drift instead of wrestling with them. Her mind became calmer, not because thoughts disappeared, but because she learned to direct them. And as she walked through her town, she realized something profound. A quiet mind is not something you find. It is something you practice. A skill, a discipline, a way of walking through the world, and this same path is open to you. Your overthinking does not define you. Your sleepless nights do not mean you lack strength. You are simply carrying too many swords in your mind, and you have never been taught how to put them down. Now you have the first steps, and to make this journey even more practical, here are 10 daily practices from the warrior's teachings that you can begin today. Use the one-breath reset. Whenever your mind spirals, stop and take one slow, deep breath. This interrupts the overthinking loop instantly. Decide only the next step. Never plan 10 moves ahead when you feel overwhelmed. Choose just the next action. Name the thought. When worry appears, say in your mind, "This is anxiety," or "This is fear." Naming reduces its emotional power. Practice the 30-second rule. If a decision takes less than 30 seconds, do it immediately. It trains decisiveness. Create a nighttime mind dump. Write down every thought before bed. This signals to your brain that nothing will be forgotten. Reducing nighttime overthinking. Limit what-if questions. Whenever you catch yourself imagining worst-case scenarios, ask, "What if it actually goes right?" Simplify one area of your life daily. A clean environment equals a clearer mind. Use 5-5-5 breathing. Inhale for 5 seconds, hold for 5, exhale for 5. Scientifically proven to calm the nervous system. Choose one daily anchor, a moment where you become fully present during coffee, walking, or sitting. This strengthens mental stability. End each day with one victory. A tiny win, no matter how small, rewires the brain toward confidence. You are not meant to live trapped in thought. You are meant to live with clarity, intention, and inner stillness. Walk your path gently, train your mind patiently, and remember, when the inner storm quiets, your whole life begins to change.